What if I told you that the biggest obstacle between you and wealth is not your bank account, not your education, not your circumstances, but a silent voice hidden inside your own mind? A voice that has been repeating the same limiting story every single morning without you even noticing. Over the next 21 days, you are about to replace that hidden story with a new one. If you stay until the very end and repeat every affirmation with complete focus, you may discover that abundance doesn't begin when money arrives. It begins the moment your mind finally believes you deserve it. If these affirmations are helping you shift your mindset and awaken a stronger belief in yourself, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every day we create powerful affirmations and mindset practices designed to help you cultivate confidence, abundance, inner peace, and lasting success. Return each morning for the full 21-day challenge, because consistent repetition is what transforms temporary motivation into permanent belief. Together, let's build a mind that naturally attracts opportunities, prosperity, and a life filled with abundance. Most people believe that money changes a person. In reality, the opposite is often true. A person's identity shapes the decisions they make, the risks they are willing to take, and the opportunities they notice. Every morning, before the world demands your attention, your mind quietly reminds you of who you believe you are. If that identity says, "I struggle, I never have enough, success belongs to others," then your actions will unconsciously follow that script. Wealth rarely begins in the wallet, it begins in identity. The unconscious mind does not carefully analyze every statement you repeat. Instead, it absorbs patterns through repetition and emotion. Every thought you consistently entertain becomes another thread in the story you tell yourself. Over time, that story becomes your personal reality. If you repeatedly affirm that you are capable, worthy, disciplined, and open to abundance, your subconscious gradually accepts these ideas as familiar truths. Once that shift begins, your behavior starts changing naturally, often without you realizing it. This is why morning affirmations are so powerful. The moments immediately after waking are a bridge between the conscious and unconscious mind. During this time, your mental defenses are softer, making it easier for new beliefs to take root. Instead of beginning the day with worry, fear, or comparison, you intentionally plant thoughts of confidence, gratitude, and abundance. Like seeds placed into fertile soil, these repeated messages slowly grow into a stronger sense of self. However, this transformation is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about uncovering the version of yourself that has been buried beneath years of doubt, criticism, fear, and limiting beliefs. Many people carry unconscious messages learned during childhood about money, success, or self-worth. These hidden beliefs quietly influence every financial decision and every opportunity they either pursue or avoid. By consciously choosing new affirmations each morning, you begin replacing those outdated patterns with beliefs that support growth instead of limitation. For the next 21 days, do not measure your progress only by the amount of money you receive. Instead, notice how your thoughts change, how your confidence grows, how you speak differently, how you recognize opportunities that once seemed invisible, and how your actions become more intentional. External abundance often follows internal transformation. When your identity shifts from someone who hopes for success to someone who expects growth, acts with purpose, and believes they are worthy of abundance, your reality begins to change from the inside out. Every morning you wake up, standing at the threshold between two worlds. One is the quiet inner world of your unconscious mind, where beliefs, memories, emotions, and habits silently shape your life. The other is the busy outer world, filled with responsibilities, distractions, and endless demands for your attention. The first few moments after waking are unlike any other time of day, because your mind has not yet become overwhelmed by external noise. This brief window offers a rare opportunity to influence the deeper layers of your thinking before old patterns take control. The unconscious mind is constantly listening, even when you are not fully aware of it. The thoughts you entertain immediately after waking often become the emotional foundation for the rest of your day. If your morning begins with anxiety, self-doubt, or fear about the future, those emotions quietly guide your decisions and reactions. But if your first thoughts are filled with confidence, gratitude, peace, and abundance, your mind begins searching for experiences that align with those emotions. Your focus changes, and with it, your perception of the world. This is why morning affirmations are more than positive words. They are intentional messages sent to the deepest part of your mind. When you calmly repeat statements such as, "I am worthy of abundance," "I welcome new opportunities," or "prosperity flows naturally into my life," you are creating a new internal dialogue. At first, the old beliefs may resist. Doubt may whisper that nothing has changed. But repetition slowly weakens those familiar patterns and strengthens new ones until confidence begins to feel more natural than fear. Think of your mind as a garden at sunrise. Before the day's distractions arrive, the soil is calm and ready to receive whatever you plant. If you leave it unattended, weeds of worry, comparison, and negativity will grow on their own. But if you consciously plant seeds of gratitude, courage, abundance, and self-belief every morning, those seeds gradually develop into lasting habits of thought. Just as a garden cannot flourish after one day of care, your inner world transforms through steady, patient consistency. For the next 21 days, protect your mornings with intention. Before checking your phone, reading the news, or allowing the opinions of others to fill your mind, spend a few quiet moments repeating affirmations with genuine belief and emotion. Let those words become the first voice your unconscious hears each day. Over time, you may notice that you respond differently to challenges, recognize opportunities more quickly, and carry a deeper sense of peace and confidence. The morning is not merely the beginning of another day, it is the place where a new version of yourself can begin to emerge. Real transformation is rarely the result of one powerful moment. It is the result of many small moments repeated with intention. Most people give up on change because they expect immediate results, believing that one day of positive thinking should erase years of doubt. But the mind does not abandon old beliefs overnight. Every thought you have repeated for years has carved a familiar path within your inner world. To create lasting change, you must patiently build a new path through consistent repetition. This is why a 21-day challenge is not about chasing perfection. It is about proving to your mind that your new identity deserves to become permanent. The unconscious mind learns through patterns rather than isolated experiences. Every time you repeat an affirmation with attention and emotion, you reinforce a new pattern of thinking. At first, those words may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable because they challenge beliefs that have existed for years. That discomfort is not a sign that the affirmations are failing. It is often a sign that the old story is being questioned. The more consistently you return to these affirmations, the less power the old beliefs hold over your thoughts and actions. Imagine a traveler walking through a dense forest. If they continue using the same trail every day, that path becomes wider, clearer, and easier to follow. But if they decide to create a new route, the first few steps are difficult. The ground is uneven, and the old trail feels more familiar. Your mind works in much the same way. Limiting beliefs are like well-worn paths created through years of repetition. The 21-day challenge is your commitment to walking a different path every morning until it becomes the natural direction your thoughts choose without effort. Throughout these 21 days, you may notice subtle changes before any visible results appear. Your inner dialogue may become more encouraging instead of critical. You may feel calmer when facing uncertainty. Opportunities that once seemed impossible may suddenly appear within reach because your perception has shifted. These changes are important because lasting abundance is built upon a transformed mindset. External success often follows internal growth, not the other way around. When your beliefs evolve, your decisions, habits, and actions begin to reflect that evolution. So do not judge your progress by what happens after a single morning. Measure it by your willingness to return again and again, even when nothing seems difficult. Every repetition strengthens the belief that you are worthy of growth, capable of success, and open to abundance. By the end of these 21 days, you may discover that the greatest transformation is not simply attracting more wealth, but becoming the kind of person who naturally thinks, acts, and lives from a place of confidence, gratitude, and unwavering belief in limitless possibilities. Many people spend their lives believing that abundance begins the day they earn more money, receive a promotion, or finally achieve financial security. They imagine that confidence, peace, and gratitude will naturally appear after success arrives. Yet the deepest truth is often the opposite. The quality of your inner world quietly shapes the reality of your outer world. A mind that is constantly consumed by fear, scarcity, and self-doubt struggles to recognize opportunities, while a mind rooted in gratitude, confidence, and possibility naturally moves toward growth. Before abundance appears in your hands, it must first exist in your heart and mind. The unconscious mind does not respond primarily to what you say you want. It responds to what you consistently feel and believe. If you repeatedly tell yourself that life is unfair, that there is never enough, or that success belongs only to others, those beliefs become the lens through which you interpret every experience. Even when opportunities appear, you may overlook them or convince yourself they are beyond your reach. But when you cultivate an inner sense of abundance, your perception begins to change. You become more aware of possibilities, more willing to act, and more resilient when challenges arise. This is why gratitude is one of the most powerful foundations of abundance. Gratitude is not pretending that every problem has disappeared. It is the conscious decision to recognize value even while working towards something greater. A grateful mind is less distracted by what is missing and more attentive to what is already available. This shift creates emotional stability, and from that stability comes clearer thinking, wiser decisions, and the courage to pursue opportunities that fear might otherwise prevent you from seeing. Affirmations strengthen this inner state by reminding you each morning that your worth is not determined by your current circumstances. When you repeat statements such as, "I am worthy of abundance, opportunities flow toward me, and I welcome prosperity with confidence," you are teaching your unconscious mind to identify with growth instead of limitation. Over time, these words become more than daily rituals. They become part of your identity. You stop acting from desperation and begin acting from quiet confidence, trusting that your efforts and mindset are working together to create meaningful change. During this 21-day journey, resist the temptation to judge abundance only by the amount of money you receive. Notice the quieter signs of transformation. Observe how your confidence grows, how your worries lose their grip, how your decisions become more intentional, and how your relationships with work, success, and opportunity begin to change. These inner shifts are often the first evidence that abundance is taking root. When your inner world becomes rich with gratitude, purpose, and belief, your outer world gradually begins to reflect the same prosperity. Many people repeat affirmations every morning, yet wonder why nothing seems to change. The answer often lies in one missing ingredient: emotion. Words spoken without feeling are little more than sounds passing through the conscious mind. The unconscious mind, however, responds most strongly to experiences charged with genuine emotion. It remembers what you deeply feel far more than what you casually say. This is why affirmations become truly transformative only when they are spoken with conviction, gratitude, hope, and unwavering belief. Think about the memories that have shaped your life. The moments you remember most clearly are rarely ordinary. They are filled with joy, fear, excitement, love, or disappointment. Emotion gives experiences their lasting impact. The unconscious mind works in a similar way. When you repeat an affirmation while imagining yourself already living with confidence, abundance, and peace, you are doing more than speaking words. You are creating an emotional experience that your inner mind begins to recognize as meaningful. Over time, Those repeated emotional experiences gradually reshape your deepest beliefs. This is why visualization and affirmations work so well together. As you declare, "I am worthy of abundance," do not merely hear the sentence, see yourself walking with confidence, making wise decisions, receiving new opportunities, and living without constant fear of lack. Feel the relief of financial security. Imagine the gratitude of being able to support your loved ones, pursue your dreams, and contribute generously to others. When your imagination and emotions support your words, the message becomes far more powerful than language alone. At first, your old beliefs may resist these emotions. A part of your mind may insist that abundance is still far away, or that you have no reason to feel grateful yet. This is natural. The unconscious prefers familiar patterns, even when they are limiting. Continue speaking your affirmations with sincerity, not because your current circumstances demand it, but because you are consciously choosing to build a new inner reality. Every day you repeat them with genuine feeling, you weaken the emotional grip of fear and strengthen the emotional foundation of confidence, hope, and possibility. As you complete this 21-day challenge, remember that the goal is not simply to memorize inspiring sentences. The real purpose is to awaken a new emotional state that becomes part of your identity. Let every affirmation carry gratitude, certainty, and quiet confidence. Speak each word as though the life you desire is already unfolding within you. When emotion and repetition work together, your unconscious mind begins to accept abundance, not as a distant dream, but as a natural expression of who you are. And once your inner world embraces that truth, your outer actions, and eventually your outer results, begin to reflect it.